Welcome to the Breakthrough Podcast with your host, Reba, a podcast motivated to help survivors of trauma heal and focus on their full potential.
Welcome back to another edition of the Breakthrough Podcast. This is my second time recording this because I don't know what was happening the first time. I don't know if I was recording live or what was happening, but okay, we back. This podcast will not be, like I said the first time, that long, only because I am a mother and I gotta leave to go get my kids, and because my son just told me that he needs to be picked up from school. Secondly, only because I rushed home from work. I have been so busy. I am so busy this week and next week that this was the only day I could record and get it done and out the way. Thirdly, because I'm trying to catch the sunlight before it leaves, until I invest in getting more lighting for my podcast, this is what I have to do. So thank you for my Apple subscribers and listeners that can't see me, but you listen to the audio. Thank you for my YouTube people. If you can see me, hey. So that's why the podcast won't be long, but I have to record. One, because I did not record last week because I was sick and I had the flu and COVID, whatever. I'm better now. Two, because I have to record because it's literally the only day, like I said, I'm going to be able to record this week. Yesterday, I didn't get home till 7 o'clock at night after work. I'm extremely busy with my life right now. So I got to do what I got to do. Okay. So this will be the only day I will be actually home early. So, and this is early for 4 o'clock in the afternoon and evening, but whatever. With all that being said, thank you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you're not a subscriber, it's free. Listen, go on YouTube. I want to get it up on YouTube. And thank you for my Apple listeners. And let's just go right into the Breakthrough Podcast. So what I have for you today really quickly is, I don't know if you can see the title, but God Don't Play About Me. That's the title of this podcast. Yesterday topped it. So I just came off a 21-day fast last week, which was amazing. Because I always tell people that I was talking to my daughter's grandmother like last week or the week before, and I was telling her that usually when I'm on a fast, God talks to me like a highlighter. I feel like I'm a highlighter. I feel like God is speaking to me and He's telling me certain things, and I love fasting because of that, because I can actually hear from Him. And I tell you this time, I heard so much that it was kind of like scary, but at the same time, it was refreshing. It was enlightening. And I'm really, really just happy about 2025 and what He is about to do. I am stepping on some faith on some big, big, big things that I'm trusting God for. And of course, because you're coming along with the journey with me, I will be letting you know what happens with these testimonies. But let me tell you what I've been doing. So this year, I always told you that I didn't write out goals and everything else. I just want God to lead my life and everything else. So what is happening with this year is I'm just literally listening, writing down what I desire and what I want. And then on the other side, because now I have a prayer closet, on the other side, what I'm doing is I'm going to write down the answered prayers. So yesterday, let's not even start yesterday. Last week, Wednesday or Thursday, God confirmed 2 major things that I've been praying about to me. And it gave me so much excitement and enlightenment. And I'm telling you guys, when you really listening to the Lord and you have a relationship with God, it works. Now, there has been some times that I've been really, really down. I was coming out of depression. I go, up and down. I'm helping my son with some things, some emotional things. And so for these last few weeks, I say, of the new year, it's only February. Happy Love Month. So God has been really downloading some things to me. So secondly, also, because I rededicated my life, I got baptized last week. So I rededicated my life to Christ I have been baptized when I was 13, but I've always wanted to do it as an adult to rededicate my life and basically give my life to Christ. And I think this was just the perfect time with everything that I was experiencing and that I'm going through right now. I think it's just the perfect time. It was the perfect time. And I promise you, the best decision I ever made, because it seemed like as soon as I did that, doors started opening up. The Lord just started speaking to me more. Things that I'm telling you that I promise you, favor that I don't even deserve, He just started granting. So I said that to all say, God loves me. He don't play about me. Let me tell you. I've always known this, okay? But it seems like 2025 for me, is I'm not playing about God year. It's either going to be all about the Lord or nothing. I'm talking about with people, family members, friends, marriage, relationships. It does not matter. It's all about God or it's nothing for me. So with everything that's going on in this world, condolences to the people in the plane crashes and everything else. And if you don't see the Bible and Revelation revealing itself, then I don't know what to tell you right now. But God is basically saying, He's not playing about the people that He's coming back for. Whether it's the end times now or it happens when I get older, it doesn't matter. All I know is 2025 for me is a year that I'm just not playing about God. Anything that I want and I desire that I need, I'm going to the Lord first. So let's go back to last week. Last week, a major prayer had got answered, and I was so excited. So then this week, yesterday, another major prayer had got answered, to the point of fact, I got kind of like intimidated. I had to call my best friend, and I was just like, oh my God, wait, I got this phone call. Then I got this phone call. And she was like, okay, so what's the problem? And I'm just like, how something happens for you and you just couldn't believe that it actually happened. And you have to really tell somebody, because you like, I want to like tell my blessings too quickly. But it's like, okay, God, I wasn't ready that quickly. But I'm going to tell you, when I gave it all to the Lord about whatever was going to happen in my life, with my kids' life, my finances, my marriage, my career, God is answering each and every prayer. I see me moving this year or whatever, and that's just something I'm putting out there. That ain't one of the phone calls. I've seen me moving this year because I've been desiring to move out of this place. I love my place, but I've been here 6 years, and I just want something new for me and my family. So I'm so excited about that, because I don't know when that's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I'm putting it out there. God going to make it happen. Oh, my goodness, guys. So yesterday, after I got the phone call, and one of my coworkers was at work with me, and she heard the phone call, and she was just like, I'm so happy for you. Congratulations. Man, I started ministering. I started talking to her. I started giving her my testimony about what I've been through the last couple of months, what I've been through over the years. And she started crying, telling me I just was having so much breakthrough for her. And I was like, well, that's what they call me. They call me the breakthrough coach. And she was like, oh, that's just so fitting, because she was like, as you was talking, I felt like you was talking to me, and you was just ministering to me, and everything that you was talking about you went through, I'm going through right now. And she said, and I'll tell you, that conversation lasted an hour. Me and her was just talking about the Lord. Now, let me tell you, when it's time to talk about God, I could talk about God. I can talk about the testimonies. What I brought up to her is one of the podcasts that I always reference and that I did is, if God gave you only 5 years to live, and He came down and said, you only have 5 years to live, would you do your life differently? And I asked her that. And she said, yes. And I said, and I always tell people, then why not start now? Why are we not starting now? Why are we not trusting and believing Him for everything that we need now? I said, what I said to her is, because today could be the last day I could be talking to you. Or today could be the last day that God has placed me in your life to be somebody that you meet. You might not be in my life for forever, but you might be somebody that God have me meet, or you meet and minister to, just to show Christ. And I said, I think, and I really feel like our destiny on this earth is to be about Christ and to have people get to know Christ through us. And sometimes people should just see it on you. You shouldn't have to even say it. Some people should see it on you. It's your character, it's your personality, it's the way you walk, talk, live, breathe, okay? And so what I was explaining to her is that because you never know when the last day or the hour or God come back and everything else, when he comes, we should be taking our lives not for granted every day. I think the most resentful thing we could do for God or to God is to just go to work every day and just come home and just work, 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 work. Yeah, we thank him for our finances. We can thank him for our money. But what else is there? You know, I was telling her yesterday, and I was telling another friend of mine, that every time I'm on a job, and it's been years for years, once I think my assignment is completed and God reveals to me my assignment is completed, I start looking for another job. And that's not because, you know, of anything else, because the job is bad or nothing like that. I feel like I've always wanted to do more. When God gives me that, I feel like God be putting it in me like, okay, now it's time to go to another level. Now it's time to do the next. I am like that with my relationships, my friendships. My friends and my relationships, they know that it's like you cannot be around me or be with me to not know that there's always a plan to go to the next level with me. That we just, over here, we don't stay stagnant. We don't stay just mishap in anything. And there ain't nothing wrong with you staying in a career or whatever. But if you truly, 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 truly know you're not even excited or happy to be in that, or it might be you truly know that it's not what you want to do for the rest of your life. Because if you really think about your career, say your career, if you can see yourself doing that till you 70 or 80, then cool, stay in it. But if you don't see yourself doing that career or that thing till you 70 or 80, maybe there be needs of time to pivot while you're still there. I'm not saying go out here and just quit a job. Don't go. Don't cut off money. I'm not saying it because that's not what I'm doing. God gotta leave my life. But what I am saying is that if I don't see myself doing that for life, then I need to pivot. I need to pivot to, okay, God, what's next? God, I just want to do your will, your way, only what you want me to do. And that's why I'm in my life right now. That's why I've been at for the last probably 10 years or more. That's why I want to travel the world. Not right now. But if God tell me to, yeah, I'm going to. And be a life coach and be a speaker and everything else, because that's my end goal. I can see myself doing that to 70, 80, and, you know, in my old age. I can see me doing it. Not working for somebody else and all that stuff. And if that's what God wants for me, then that's what I'll have to do. But I really don't think that's what it is. But in that time frame, and in that time, in this time, where God leads me in a career, a job field, I need to use my light. I'm coaching regardless. Just because I'm not a big platform yet, and I'm not on somebody's stage yet, I'm still coaching. Just like I was talking to that young lady. I'm still helping people's souls. Telling them my testimonies and telling them my breakthroughs and telling them things I went through so I can help somebody else. That is the end goal, and that's my end goal. I feel like everything that we do in life should be always a ministry, and it should not be about us and just a dollar. Because if you're doing it just for a dollar, eventually you're going to be unhappy with yourself, and a dollar is not going to last, okay? Jobs get rid of people all the time, one. Even if you're an independent worker or whatever, things happen with contracts, governments, people shut down, all this other stuff. You never know. And then sometimes what we don't understand is God might stop stuff because we too scared to walk away. He'll remove people out of our lives because we was too scared to do what he had us to do. He'll remove friendships. He will remove family members. He will stop a job. People say, you know, God closed that door. Sometimes he do close that door. gotta close that door because he'd be like, okay, you getting too comfortable, you getting too complacent. I need you to focus on me. That was something I told her yesterday. I said, I feel like God was telling me this year that if you're not focusing on me, I'm not gonna have you worship no husband, no children, no job, no career, no money. It's all about me. That's just how I feel. I feel like we're not here for ourselves. I feel like we're here for other people. I'm here personally for my testimony to help other people about what I've been through, going through, went through, trials and tribulation. That my trials and tribulations, honestly, are testimonies. I use my trials and tribulations as testimonies, and I want to use my life as a testimony and say, whew, yes, I did go through that. But let me tell you how I came out on the other side. And I ain't gonna sit there and say it's easy. I was telling her this too. I said, I don't understand why we think when we become a Christian that stuff supposed to be easy, like we're supposed to just have an easy life. It's not. But that's the testimony, and because we know we got God. I couldn't even see myself going through anything I'm going through right now without the Lord, without God being in my life. Oh, that's some kind of blind faith, but you know they have to. How you say you have blind faith? That's a different kind of blind faith. That's a. I'm just living willy nilly. I don't want to live like that. I got kids to live for. I got a family to live for, and I love them too much that yeah, I don't want to live. I want my kids to use whatever I'm going through as a testimony to help them to be better Christians, to be better individuals, to be better people. Their characteristics speak for themselves. Yes, I didn't say you're supposed to be perfect, and that's what I told her. We forget. We think we're supposed to be so perfect. And like, oh, I made a mistake. I made a mistake. Okay, the same way God forgave you, God forgive yourself. I remember this last month or whatever, I had to forgive myself for a lot of things. I was in counseling last week with Love McPherson. This is a known relationship therapist or whatever. And she was like, you have a lot of unforgiveness of yourself, but you can forgive people all the time. But you haven't forgave yourself for a lot of stuff. And she was like, and I was like, I knew she was telling the truth. I knew she was telling the truth. And she was like, you are a beautiful light. You are a beautiful spirit. Remember who you are. She was just pointing to me. She was like, write those affirmations on that mirror. I did. She was like, remember who you are. She was like, okay, you made mistakes. You made mistakes in your relationship. You made mistakes in your family. You made mistakes in your friendship. Okay. But that's not who you are. Now, that's the difference between when your characteristic speaks for itself and that's actually who you are. And everybody could say, that's her. That's him. Yeah, that ugly person. Yeah, this person. Yeah, that person. No, mistakes is, okay, I'm learning from my mistakes, even though I'm going to keep on messing up until the day we die, because nobody's perfect. You don't put nobody on a pedestal. Oh, no, our kids do not put me on a pedestal. But your mistakes is actually what helps you heal. Your mistakes is actually if you want to have transparency and accountability for them, let's be real. Your mistakes is actually what helps you heal, and it actually helps you to be a better person. Okay? It actually have you have accountability, and you learn from it. There's so much stuff I have thought about. And I'm like, could have did that different. Could have did that different. I should have listened to Lord on that. I should have listened. There's been times, I'm telling you, in the last year, I did not listen to Lord, and I went against what He was telling me to do, and it ended up turning back around that I got to end up doing what He was telling me to do in the first place. Okay? I said all that to say, God don't play about me. He loves me. And because it's Love Month, I love you guys. I love this podcast. I love recording. I love when He's downloading something in my spirit for other people. I love doing this. But just as much as I love doing this, I love listening to the Lord and letting Him guide my life. Because I promise you, it has been such a breath of fresh air, and it has been so much easier than me worrying. If you know me, I'm a worrier. That's a generational curse. I am not a worrier. I'm overcoming being worried and anxiety. I'm praying for more people more that their mental and their emotional and their spiritual is more about God. It's not about me. God is just downloading things in my spirit about people that people don't even know. He revealed things to me with relationships I'm in day, I was just like, ooh, oh. He have had me walk away from people that with no explanation. They don't need no explanation. God told me to do it. He have had me give up things that I didn't want to give up. He have had me, because it came to the point of fact, he had to have me find comfort in him and only him. And that's where I'm at in my life right now. And I'm so happy and I'm so at peace. So, I said all that to say because I got to get up out of here and the sun is about to go down. But I love that you want to listen to me. Guys, you just don't understand. I'm overjoyed. I'm overfilled with love, support, just from the Lord. But he's placing people in my life that love on me and that's loving me through some things. And that's showing me the love that I need and that I want. And I'm so happy. New people, new relationships, new friendships. And I'm so happy. So, I said all that to say, thank you for listening to the Breakthrough Podcast. I love you. We'll be talking about more next week on Love Month. I will be talking about the love of Christ. And this is just the beginning. So, I love you. I love Breakthrough Podcast. And I love the Lord more. I'll see you next week on the Breakthrough Podcast. Bye.